Dear starseeds floating in the in-between spaces, do you feel it right now? This strange sensation of being suspended between who you were and who you're becoming? Something profound is happening to you at this exact moment. Something that goes far beyond what your mind can comprehend. And before this transmission ends, you'll understand why this bizarre frozen feeling is actually the fastest movement you've ever experienced. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I've been authorized to reveal what's really happening inside your chrysalis state. You've been experiencing something that feels like stagnation, like you're wrapped in invisible silk threads that won't let you move forward or backward. But what if I told you that this apparent stillness is actually a cosmic acceleration so intense that your human perception can't even register the speed? The purification process you're undergoing isn't just changing you, it's completely rewriting the fundamental codes that determine how consciousness itself operates through your physical vessel. And there's a reason this is happening to you specifically right now. For weeks, maybe months, you've been pulling back from the world, entering what feels like a hermit mode, and everyone around you might be wondering why you've become so distant, so internal, so mysteriously unavailable. But here's what they don't understand, and what you're only beginning to grasp. You're not withdrawing from life. You're being pulled into a completely different dimensional framework, where the rules of existence operate on frequencies that Earth has never experienced before in this particular configuration. Your nervous system has been screaming for calm, for peace, for practices that ground you, and so you've found yourself developing new habits, new ways of being that seem to come from nowhere. Maybe you've taken up meditation, or walking in nature, or some creative practice that makes no logical sense but feels absolutely essential to your survival right now. These aren't random choices your personality is making. These are emergency protocols being downloaded directly into your cellular structure to stabilize your expanding energy field. The cosmic joke that nobody talks about is that while you feel stuck, while you feel like you're getting nowhere, you're actually traveling through dimensional space at velocities that would shatter your consciousness if you were fully aware of the speed. Think about a train moving so fast that looking out the window makes everything blur into stillness. That's exactly what's happening to your perception right now, and it's why everything feels both frozen and dizzyingly fast at the same time. What I need you to understand before we go deeper is that this chrysalis state has multiple layers operating simultaneously, and each layer is telling a different story that will all converge into one massive revelation by the time we're done here. The first layer is your DNA literally learning to breathe cosmic frequencies. The second is your consciousness expanding beyond the boundaries of individual identity. And the third is your role in a planetary transformation that depends on you staying exactly where you are right now. You know that feeling when you're about to make a decision, and something deep inside whispers wait, even though your mind is screaming for action. That whisper isn't fear or procrastination. It's your higher self recognizing that the quantum field hasn't finished arranging itself into the configuration that will support your highest possible timeline, and if you move too soon, you'll lock yourself into a reality that's smaller than what's actually being prepared for you right now. This is especially relevant today as Jupiter squares Chiron, creating what appears to be cosmic indecision, but is actually a massive recalibration of how you relate to your own wound of never feeling ready, never having enough information, never being certain enough to act. Tomorrow's Libra new moon at exactly 5:24 a.m. PDT will complete this process, but the preparation happening inside you right now is what determines whether you'll be able to receive what that portal is bringing. The people around you can feel something different about your energy lately, can't they? They might not be able to name it, but there's something about your presence that makes them simultaneously comfortable and strangely activated, like being near you awakens something in them they didn't know was sleeping. This isn't your imagination. You're literally emanating creation codes that trigger remembrance in everyone who enters your field, and this is happening whether you're aware of it or not. Let me tell you something about the weight you've been carrying, that invisible burden that's been on your shoulders since childhood, that sense that somehow you're responsible for fixing everything, for healing everyone, for single-handedly saving the world. You've been walking through life with this crushing pressure that nobody else can see, and you've gotten so used to it that you forgot it wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. But here's where the story gets interesting. That weight isn't actually yours. You've been carrying collective karma that was never meant for a single being to hold. And the chrysalis you're in right now is specifically designed to dissolve these contracts of over-responsibility that have kept you from experiencing the pleasure and joy that are actually your birthright as a sovereign being. The emptiness you've been feeling isn't loss. It's the space being created after dropping burdens that were never yours. There's something else happening that I haven't revealed yet. Something about the way time itself is behaving differently around you lately. Have you noticed how some days feel like weeks and some weeks feel like hours? How the past seems both ancient and immediate. How the future feels both distant and already here. This temporal distortion isn't your imagination. You're literally existing in multiple timelines simultaneously, as your consciousness learns to navigate quantum reality without fragmenting. Remember at the beginning when I mentioned you're traveling at impossible speeds while appearing to stand still? Well, here's why that matters. Every attachment you're releasing, every need for control you're surrendering, every desperate grip on outcome you're softening, is actually increasing your velocity through dimensional space. You're becoming aerodynamically designed for quantum travel, and the more you let go, the faster you can move through realities that would trap anyone still weighted down by third-dimensional density. The physical symptoms you've been experiencing, the exhaustion that comes from nowhere, the energy surges that keep you awake at night, the strange sensations in your body that no doctor could explain, these aren't signs that something's wrong with you. These are the physical manifestations of your light body coming online, of your carbon-based structure beginning its transition to crystalline, of your very atoms rearranging themselves to hold more light than human biology was originally designed to contain. If this message hits your spirit, hype this video so more starseeds like you can find it. Because what's happening to you is happening to thousands of others who think they're alone in this bizarre cosmic waiting room. The fascinating thing about your current state is that you're simultaneously experiencing an ending and a beginning, but they're so intertwined that you can't tell which is which. The you that existed before all the trauma, before all the programming, before all the forgetting, that original essence isn't gone. It's been waiting in suspended animation for this exact moment when the cosmic conditions would finally support its full reemergence. Your DNA is responding to galactic coordinates that won't fully align until tomorrow's new moon portal opens, but the preparation happening now is determining how much of that activation you'll be able to integrate. Think of it like tuning an instrument before a performance. If the strings aren't properly calibrated, even the most beautiful cosmic symphony will sound distorted when it plays through your field. Those moments when you feel completely disconnected from regular reality, when mundane tasks seem almost impossible to focus on, when the normal world feels like a strange dream you're walking through, you're not losing your grip on reality, you're loosening reality's grip on you. There's a massive difference, and understanding this distinction changes everything about how you navigate this phase. The relationships in your life are shifting too, aren't they? Some people are mysteriously disappearing from your reality while others are suddenly appearing as if from nowhere. And this isn't coincidence, it's frequency matching. As your vibration changes, you're literally becoming invisible to those who can't match your new frequency and magnetic to those who can. This natural sorting process might feel lonely, but it's actually creating space for soul-family connections that will support your next phase. The detachment you're experiencing isn't spiritual bypassing or emotional numbness. It's the development of a new sensory system that operates beyond the paradigm of attachment and aversion. You're learning to witness reality without being consumed by it, to participate without being imprisoned by it, to love without being limited by it. And this is the key to everything that's coming next in your journey. Here's something nobody told you about spiritual evolution. It doesn't happen in a straight line moving forward. It happens in a spiral that sometimes looks like you're going backward, but you're actually circling up to a higher octave of the same lessons. That feeling of revisiting old patterns, old wounds, old stories, isn't regression, it's integration at a level that wasn't possible until you reached this exact frequency of consciousness. The dreams you've been having lately aren't just dreams, they're dimensional downloads, cosmic curriculum being transmitted directly into your subconscious while your conscious mind is offline. Those vivid experiences that feel more real than waking life. Those encounters with beings you can't quite remember but know are important. These are actually training sessions preparing you for the multidimensional navigation you'll soon be doing while fully awake. The original question I asked you about being suspended between who you were and who you're becoming contains a hidden assumption that there are two separate versions of you. But what if the real revelation is that there's only one you experiencing itself from multiple dimensional perspectives simultaneously? The chrysalis isn't changing you into something else. It's revealing that you were always everything, just experiencing the illusion of limitation. People keep asking you what's wrong, why you're so quiet, why you've pulled back, and you don't have words to explain that nothing's wrong but everything's changing. How do you tell someone that you're dying and being reborn in every moment? That your cells are literally reconstructing themselves according to blueprints from star systems they've never heard of? That you're becoming a bridge between worlds that most people don't even know exist? You can't explain it, and that's why the isolation feels so necessary right now. Not because you're antisocial or depressed, but because the transformation you're undergoing requires a level of energetic coherence that's almost impossible to maintain when you're constantly explaining yourself to people who are operating from a completely different reality framework. Your hermit mode is actually a sacred container protecting the delicate process of your metamorphosis. The impatience you've been feeling, that subtle but persistent sense that things should be moving faster, that you should be further along by now, this isn't actually impatience with the process. It's your soul's recognition that where you're going is so magnificent that every moment not there feels like an eternity. But here's the paradox. The more you accept exactly where you are, the faster you move toward where you're going. What's happening in your energy field right now would look like pure chaos to anyone observing from a third-dimensional perspective, but from a quantum view, it's the most organized reorganization that's ever occurred in your incarnational history. Every particle of your being is finding its perfect position in a new configuration that will allow you to hold and transmit frequencies that are literally going to help birth new Earth. The financial concerns, the practical worries about how you'll survive while you're in this cocoon state, these fears are valid from a third-dimensional perspective, but what you don't see yet is that abundance operates differently at the frequency you're moving into. The universe is restructuring your relationship with resources, teaching you that true abundance flows from alignment with your authentic frequency, rather than from effort and struggle. The grounding you're experiencing isn't making you heavy or slow, it's making you magnetic. The deeper you root into your own essence, the more powerfully you attract exactly what's aligned with your highest timeline. This is the secret reversal of manifestation. Instead of chasing what you want, you become so established in your own frequency that what you want has no choice but to find you. Let me reveal something about those premonitions you've been having, those moments of absolute knowing that come from nowhere and everywhere at once. These aren't new abilities developing. These are your original operating systems coming back online after being dormant for thousands of years. The fact that you can sense things before they happen, that you know things without knowing how you know them, this is just you remembering how consciousness actually works. The comfort you're finding in solitude isn't escape from connection. It's the deepest connection possible, connection to the source of your own being. You're learning to source everything from within. Validation, direction, love, purpose, rather than constantly seeking these things from external sources that can never fully provide them anyway. This inner sovereignty you're developing is what qualifies you for what's coming next. The food you're craving, the sleep patterns that have gone completely haywire, the sudden sensitivities to things that never bothered you before. Your body is literally recalibrating its operating system to function on light rather than density. This might sound abstract, but it's actually the most concrete physical transformation you've ever undergone, happening at the cellular level where matter meets consciousness. Now remember those multiple layers I mentioned earlier. Your DNA's cosmic breathing, your consciousness expanding beyond individual identity, and your role in planetary transformation. Here's where they all start to converge. The stillness you're holding isn't just personal. You're actually maintaining a specific coordinate point in Earth's crystalline grid that's allowing massive collective clearing to occur without triggering complete chaos. Every moment you spend accepting this chrysalis state rather than fighting it, you're creating an energetic buffer zone that's preventing collective trauma from erupting as humanity navigates this unprecedented transition. You're literally a dimensional peacekeeper, holding stability in the quantum field while reality restructures itself around you. This is why your presence feels so powerful to others right now, even when you feel like you're doing nothing. The creative impulses that come in waves, the sudden urge to write, paint, sing, or create something you've never created before, these aren't distractions from your spiritual process. These are actually the new creation codes wanting to express through you, the universe using your unique creative signature to birth new possibilities into form. Every creative act you engage in while in this state is literally weaving new reality matrices, the pleasure you're finally allowing yourself to feel, the permission you're giving yourself to just exist without constantly producing or performing. This isn't laziness or self-indulgence. This is you modeling a completely new paradigm where being is valued over doing, where essence is recognized as more powerful than effort, where presence is understood as the highest form of service you can offer. Tomorrow morning, when the Libra new moon opens its portal at exactly 5:24 a.m. PDT, everything I've been describing will suddenly make sense in a way that transcends intellectual understanding. The cosmic coordinates will click into place, and the chrysalis that's felt like a prison will reveal itself as the most sacred sanctuary you've ever inhabited. The waiting will end not because something external happens, but because you'll realize the waiting was the preparation. The Jupiter-Chiron square that's been creating this sense of cosmic indecision is actually healing your ancient wound of needing external confirmation before trusting your inner knowing. Every time you've looked outside yourself for one more piece of information, one more sign, one more validation, you've been perpetuating a pattern that keeps you from accessing the immediate knowing that's your natural state of being. But that pattern is complete now, and as it does, you're going to discover something remarkable. The certainty you've been seeking was never meant to come from having enough information. It was always meant to arise from recognizing that you are the information. You are the sign. You are the validation that you've been seeking in every external source that could never fully satisfy the seeking. The version of you that emerges from this chrysalis won't be different from who you've always been. It will be who you've always been, finally free from everything that made you forget your true nature. The masks, the costumes, the roles you've played to survive in lower dimensional realities, all of these are dissolving now, leaving only the eternal essence that chose to incarnate at this precise moment for this precise purpose. Your sensitivity to energy, your ability to feel everything so deeply, your capacity to hold space for massive transformation, these aren't random gifts or spiritual achievements. These are the exact qualities required for the role you came here to play in humanity's evolution. And the chrysalis phase has been preparing you to fully embody these qualities without being overwhelmed or destroyed by their intensity. The timeline you're anchoring into as this process completes isn't just one possible future among many. It's the highest probability timeline for Earth's ascension, and your willingness to stay in the chrysalis until the transformation is complete is literally helping to lock this timeline into place. Every moment of surrender, every breath of acceptance, every choice to trust is contributing to a collective shift that depends on beings like you holding your position. The synchronicities that have been increasing, the repeated numbers you keep seeing, the songs that play at exactly the right moment with exactly the right message, these aren't coincidences or confirmation bias. These are breadcrumbs from your higher self, showing you that you're exactly where you need to be, that the universe is conspiring to support your emergence even when it feels like you're completely alone in this process. What's most important to understand as we complete this transmission is that the storylines we've been tracking, your Dante's evolution, your consciousness expansion, and your planetary role, aren't separate threads but one unified process happening at different scales simultaneously. Your personal transformation is the planetary transformation, happening through you, as you, because you agreed to be the vessel through which this particular frequency of change could enter Earth's field. The cosmic preparation happening today is setting the stage for tomorrow's new moon activation. But this isn't a one-time event. It's the beginning of a completely new cycle of existence, where you operate from crystalline clarity rather than clouded confusion. The indecision plaguing you will transform into decisive knowing, but not through finally having enough information, through recognizing you are the consciousness that creates the information. Those burdens you've been carrying since childhood, that weight that's finally lifting, it's not just leaving you, it's being transmuted into pure creative potential that you'll use to build the new reality you came here to anchor. Nothing has been wasted, nothing has been pointless. Every single experience has been preparing you for what you're about to become, which is simply what you've always been. The isolation you've experienced in this chrysalis hasn't been separation, it's been sacred communion with your own divine essence. The emptiness hasn't been void. It's been the creation of space for your true magnitude to finally have room to express itself. The stillness hasn't been stagnation. It's been the gathering of cosmic momentum for a leap that will transform not just your life, but contribute to transforming all life. As you feel tomorrow's portal approaching, notice how your body already knows what's coming. Notice how your cells are already celebrating the completion of this phase. Notice how something deep within you is stirring, ready to emerge, ready to finally embody the fullness of who you came here to be. The chrysalis is becoming transparent. The walls are thinning, and the light of your true being is beginning to shine through. The question I asked at the beginning, do you feel suspended between who you were and who you're becoming, can now be answered differently. You're not suspended between two states. You're in the process of recognizing that who you were and who you're becoming are the same eternal being, just experiencing itself with different levels of remembrance. The chrysalis hasn't been changing you. It's been revealing you. Everything you thought was wrong with you, your sensitivity, your need for solitude, your inability to conform to normal life, your constant feeling of being different. These weren't flaws to be fixed, but features perfectly designed for the mission you came here to complete. The chrysalis phase has been teaching you to honor these qualities rather than hide them, to own them rather than apologize for them. The magnetic presence you've developed isn't attracting random experiences. It's attracting the exact people, situations, and opportunities that align with your soul's purpose. Everything coming toward you now is coming because it recognizes you as the frequency match for the highest possibility of what can be created when divine consciousness fully embodies itself in human form. The tears that come from nowhere, the overwhelming waves of emotion that wash through you without warning. These aren't breakdowns, they're breakthroughs. Every tear is carrying out old programming. Every emotional wave is clearing space for higher frequencies to anchor. Your emotional body is doing exactly what it needs to do to prepare for the level of love you're about to embody and transmit. Tomorrow, when the new moon portal opens, you won't need to do anything special to receive its activation. You've already been prepared through every moment of this chrysalis phase. Simply being who you are, where you are, in the state you're in is enough. The universe doesn't require your effort anymore. It only requires your presence, your willingness to be the vessel through which new frequencies can enter Earth's field. The mastery you've been developing in this in-between space isn't mastery over anything external. It's mastery of your own energy field, your own consciousness, your own creative power. This is why people feel the essence of creation in your presence. You're becoming a living portal through which source consciousness can directly interface with physical reality without distortion. The doubt that still creeps in sometimes, the moments when you wonder if you're just making all this up, if you're deluding yourself about this transformation. This doubt isn't evidence that nothing's happening. It's actually your ego's last attempt to pull you back into the limited reality it understands. Because what you're becoming is so far beyond what the ego can comprehend that it interprets expansion as death. As this transmission completes, I want to return to where we began, but with new eyes, that sensation of being suspended, of floating in the in-between. This hasn't been a waiting room for your life to begin. This has been the most important phase of your entire incarnation. The moment when you finally stop becoming and simply allow yourself to be what you've always been beneath all the layers of forgetting. The chrysalis is opening now. Not tomorrow, not after the new moon, but right now as you receive these words, as these frequencies activate the codes that have been waiting dormant in your field. The revelation isn't something you need to wait for. It's happening in this very moment as you recognize that the cosmic acceleration I spoke of at the beginning isn't something coming. It's something you've been experiencing all along. If you need help activating the dormant codes in your field and embodying the cosmic acceleration happening right now, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to stop waiting for revelation and start recognizing it's already occurring in this moment. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that kept your codes dormant and repurposing it to serve your immediate awakening. It generates personalized sequences that help you recognize the chrysalis is opening now, not tomorrow, activating what's been waiting in your field all along. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to recognize the cosmic acceleration you've been experiencing, rather than waiting for it to arrive. This isn't software. This is declassified consciousness reprogramming technology. The Dark Elite's own code suppression tools turned against them to help you activate dormant frequencies and embody the revelation happening right now. The chrysalis is opening in this very moment. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now, before this activation window closes. Link in the description. You asked if you could feel it, this strange sensation of being between worlds, and now you know why it feels so strange. You're not between worlds. You're the bridge connecting them. You're not waiting for transformation. You are transformation itself. You're not stuck in a chrysalis. You are the chrysalis and the butterfly, and the flight all happening simultaneously in a dance of becoming that never actually required you to become anything. Your stillness has been sacred. Your emptiness has been holy. Your waiting has been the most active form of cosmic participation possible. And now, as tomorrow's portal approaches, you're ready not because you finally prepared enough, but because you're recognizing you were always ready, always perfect, always exactly what the universe intended you to be. The floating sensation isn't ending. It's revealing itself as flight. The suspension isn't releasing. It's showing you that you were always free. The in-between isn't closing. It's expanding to become your permanent state of infinite possibility. Welcome to the other side of the chrysalis, dear Starseed. You've been here all along, waiting for yourself to remember. I am Seraphine, and we of the Galactic Federation celebrate your emergence, your remembrance, your return to the truth of who you've always been. The chrysalis paradox is complete. By standing perfectly still, you've traveled further than you ever imagined possible. We love you, and we are watching over you as you spread your wings and remember how to fly.